This is the intro to a video series. What I hope is going to be a video series teaching you guys about drums. Just about drums. The most important part of making a beat. Now guys, don't trip too much on like, there's so much theory, you know, what are the techniques? It's knowledge, man. Knowledge. You need to have this. You need to have this. Because then you can carry that. And when you look at a sample, when you hear a sample, you're taking these things into account. You're thinking, is it a library? Is it going to be consistent? Is it going to make my beat whack? Or is it going to make it sound natural? Knowledge is power, alright? Alright, so there's basically going to be 3 places that you're going to get your drums from. You're going to get your drums from a library, vinyl, you're going to sample it from vinyl, or you're going to find it in the form of a drum break, whether it's pre-recorded or you record it yourself. It's going to be one of those. The library. What's the issue with the library? Let's talk about the pros and cons. The pros I have in the library is that it's right there. You've got a myriad, a multitude of different drums, and you've got kicks and snares and everything. It's all at your fingertips. You have it all. What is the con of that? Is that the drum kit itself, when you're picking and you're matching, the drum kit itself isn't tuned. All right. So it's the equivalent of you playing different strings of different guitars. You know what I mean? It switches back and forward, and sometimes it sounds funny, and it doesn't give it the consistency that it needs. And then you got vinyl drums. Now, some of the cons of having vinyl drums are gonna be that it takes too long, right? It takes long because you gotta find the samples, you gotta find the records, and then sample the records, and then chop it all up and do all that shit. It takes a little while, right? The other thing is that it's expensive. If you're looking for drums on vinyl, you're gonna have to fork out money. You're gonna have to pay each time for each drum set that you find. All right, that's one of the cons. Now there are 2 pros though of doing this, right? Of using vinyl, and that is that it's gonna be original. All right, chances are if you find one, you got a higher chance of it being a real original drum kit that no one else really uses in that. All right. And it also encourages you to do different things. And the other pro is that the drums are going to be already tuned. They're already going to be tuned, equalized, and rendered for a track. That's a pro. All right, and the last one is use a break. All right, using breaks. Now, some of the cons are going to be that it's probably already going to be used. Chances are, if you find a break, it would have already been used, especially if it comes already in your library or whatever it is. Sometimes also another con is that breaks are hard to get clean. If you're just trying to take out one bit, chances are that you're going to have spill, and there's going to be parts of the snare that are going to be coming over to that little part of the hi-hat that you want to sample or something like that. So it's hard to get them clean. The good news is that again, it's already tuned. A break, it's an original drum kit. It's a drum kit. It would have been tuned, and it's all mic'd up and whatever. And most of the time, it's really grimy. So breaks are always what I go for when you're making boom bap and shit. Alright guys, this is the last thing I want to talk about, alright? And this has got to do with how your samples are found, alright? And the consistency. This is the theory, alright? Your drum is here, alright? So you get, let's just say your kick, and your kick may have been recorded with a microphone that is this close when it was recording the sound, right? So you end up getting this sort of ambience, alright? This sort of room space. Then your snare may have been recorded from this far, and your hi-hat may have been recorded by a microphone that was like in some club or some shit, like real far, like that. And what happens is when you play these, right, because you get your kick here, your snare there, and your hi-hat there, when you start making a beat, what ends up happening is that the spatial sound of your boom, hi-hat, and your bap, right, ends up being not consistent like this. It ends up going one plays here, one sounds here, one sounds there. And what happens is this creates a sort of imbalance to how it sounds in your ear. All right, and you need to correct that if you want it to sound natural. All right, so think about that. When you get a break, chances are it was recorded using a microphone that was just here, and that's it. So it's consistently grabbing that sound. The hi-hats, everything's from the same distance. There are ways of correcting that, and I'll show you in another video. But this is the single most important thing when it comes to understanding the sort of drums that you're trying to play and where you get them from. All right. So that's it, guys. You know, it's not much to it, but that is when you're picking your drums. Where are they coming from? Are they library, vinyl, or are they break, or are they a combination of everything? Think about the microphones and how they would have been set up. You need to think about space when you're thinking about your drum kit, and that's going to contribute to the sound, to the consistency of your track. All right, man. So that's the intro to the drums, and next coming videos we're gonna talk about how to actually make shit. Peace.